we said, well, you have, nice house. All right, so let's have an end of summer bash, and then all of the proceeds will go to cover the rent.
You're saying there was a party, and you're saying you didn't even know there was a party.
I had no idea.
You weren't there at the party. Someone here is blatantly lying.
My big sister here owes me money.
I didn't get what I asked for.
Well, you didn't have to accept it then. If you didn't want it at that time, don't take it. Don't use it.
Plaintiff Jose Diaz claims he let his friend of 30 years live in his house, but his friend's roller derby lifestyle didn't pay the bills. He's suing for $5,000 for unpaid rent. Defendant Timothy Olague claims he paid the rent by throwing a for-profit party in the plaintiff's house. He says he owes nothing.
This is case number 175 on the docket.
Let's see what I have here. I have the plaintiff, Mr. Diaz. You are suing, it says here, your former friend and, quote, out-of-control roommate, Mr. Timothy Olague. He is suing you for $5,000 for what he says is unpaid rent. Why don't you tell me your side of the story first?
Yes, so Mr. Olague pretty much begged me to rent him a room. I really wasn't crazy about renting him a room because I've known him for about 30 years.
Oh.
And pretty much I know his lifestyle, which his lifestyle doesn't really align with my lifestyle. He's more of a party animal. He likes to drink, he likes to smoke, and I'm the complete opposite. I don't drink, I don't smoke. So, I considered that, and I figured, no, it wouldn't be a good idea to rent him a room, but he kept on insisting. He was extremely persistent. He kind of begged me to rent him a room. So finally, I figured, okay, fine. I'm gonna rent you a room, but there's gonna be rules, and we're gonna have a written agreement, which I have right here.
May I look at that, please?
Yes.
Yes.
So I told him, look, these are the rules. No shoes in the carpet area.
No
Right.
smoking, no alcohol, no drugs, no loud music or noise, no shoes in the carpet areas, no more than 4 guests at any given time.
Yes.
And no sleepovers.
That is correct.
You sure you wanted to live here?
Right.
All right, and this is signed by both. It's a 1-year rental agreement, $1,100 a month, including utilities. Now what?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he signed the contract, that's the deal, $1,100 a
so
month.
that was definitely...
So why are you here?
He paid the first month, not a problem. I was happy that he paid rent.
Yeah.
Come month 2, he didn't pay rent, and he came up with a million excuses as to why he couldn't pay rent.
So you're saying he only paid 1 month's rent?
That is correct. He only paid for 1 month, then the rest of the months...
How long has he been there?
He was there from June 1st through March 1st. So he was there for about 9 months.
9 months?
Correct.
But he paid 1 month?
That is correct, 1 month.
All right, what's your side?
Well, Your Honor, first of all, the reason I moved I didn't beg for anything. The reason I moved into his residence was because I have a business about less than 10 minutes away in Los Angeles, and I wanted to be close to my business, which is a roller derby training facility. And he was the one that was like begging me, like, well, let me come in and hang out and see what you got going on. When he realized there was a lot of girls there.
Right, you were trying to use it as a party house. It's not a party house.
I have the floor
as you
right
can
now.
see, the pictures, Your Honor.
I have the floor right
it's
now.
a nice house. I know. I understand.
Okay.
Right.
So, yeah, it seemed like a good deal. He did give me a document, and I'm thinking this guy's my friend, so yeah, I signed it, but I didn't really, I should have, but I didn't really, read, the part about especially about no overnight guests and stuff like that. I mean, we're both adults. So anyways, I paid June, I paid July.
So you're saying you paid $2,200?
Yeah.
You didn't, and if
me.
you did, you could show proof. Where's the proof?
Do we have,
I gave him cash. Okay? So at the roller derby training facility, we would have fundraisers, to buy equipment, stuff like that.
Sure.
And he saw how good and how profitable those events were, because a lot of the girls, the roller girls are, popular. They have their own followings, etc. And we said, well, you have, nice house, overlooking the valley, jacuzzi, big backyard. So let's have an end of summer Labor Day bash, and then all of the proceeds will go to cover the year's rent.
Did you agree to that party?
Definitely not. No, my house is not a party house. I don't like to have random drunk people at the house because I know the type of crowd that he associates with.
You suggested let's have a party here. We'll charge
$65 is in.
All right, to go to the party. Okay.
Yeah.
But You're saying you said no to that.
Correct.
No, we agreed. He saw how profitable the.
Well, did you have the party or not?
Yes.
No, that did not happen.
It did happen.
I wasn't there when you had a party. If you had a party, I wasn't there.
You really don't know that there was a party at your house?
He did approach me and said, I want to have a party at your house, which I declined. I rejected him flat out because to me that means drunk people clogging up the toilet, throwing up.
Did you, in fact, have that party?
Yes. And it was not an indoor party. It was an outdoor party to
Okay.
take advantage
How
of
many
that
people
view.
came to the party?
I would say 300.
Wow.
At,
So that was behind my back when I was gone then.
Here.
And look, these are not drunk
Okay.
people.
all right,
These are
so
athletes. These are
It was 65.
beautiful.
So it's about $19,500.
Well, I raised more money than that at the actual facility whenever I had events.
Okay.
So we had a string of parties all summer
All
long.
right.
But
I
here's the
believe
thing,
you
Your
know
Honor.
how to throw a party, and I
Yeah.
believe you have a beautiful house.
Right.
You didn't want the party.
Right.
You did because what you were saying is that this party would raise money so that you could pay his rent.
In this occasion, yes.
I never saw a dime.
Wait
That's
a
why we're
second.
here.
Why would he see a dime? It was your part. You were at the party. He was out of town.
I brought the people. They brought their followers.
And when they
he
walked
was in
in, they
charge.
paid
He was in charge of the money.
Now, wait a second. Okay, someone here is blatantly lying, and you're
Right.
both under oath, so
Right.
be careful. You're saying there was a party there. I'm willing to believe that there was a party there. You're saying you didn't even know there was a party.
No,
If
correct.
he didn't know there was a party, how did he collect the money?
Well, I never saw it. I never saw that.
So who?
Well, who did these people pay?
The owner of the house.
How?
How? He wasn't there.
Well, that's what he says, Your Honor.
Right.
You're
exactly.
saying you saw him at the party.
Yeah, he was there.
Well, show proof then. Show video, show a picture, show something.
I don't have any of
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
man.
So
This is,
Well,
this
Your
is
Honor.
disappointing because this isn't just a misinterpretation or a misunderstanding. One of you two, under oath, is absolutely lying about this fact. You're saying there was a party
Absolutely.
and you didn't get a penny for it.
That's correct.
Because you're saying the money was paid to him. And you're saying you didn't even know there was a
I
party.
had no idea.
You weren't there at the party.
Right.
No one ever gave you any money
Nope.
because of a party that was there.
that is correct.
So
I haven't
one
seen
of
any.
you two is obviously lying.
Obviously, he's lying because if I'm already presenting him with a strict lease agreement with strict rules,
I understand that there's a serious contract here,
Right.
which he is responsible for
Correct.
paying the rent.
Yes.
I don't question that.
Right.
I am trying to figure out how much rent you were paid of these
Right.
12 months. He is saying that part of that money would come from this party.
right, which I never agreed to.
You owe rent going in for every month that you were there. So
I
if
agree.
you're saying that the money from the party was to pay your rent, then you have to show me a receipt because we're in a court of law
Right.
for each month's payment.
I paid in cash. I brought proof of my new residence, which, I mean, I went back to my house. I did the 2.5-hour commute. One of the big reasons that I left was because he was hitting on some of the roller girls.
This is not-
Well, the point I want to
This
make
is
though,
not a trial
is-
about character.
Okay, I get
I
it.
just want to know where's the evidence that you paid the rent.
Yes.
I left him a check for $2,200 when I moved out.
Do you have the canceled check?
He never cashed it. I paid for June, I paid for July, and then after I moved out,
Okay, seriously, why wouldn't he cash the check?
because he thought I owed him for the entire year. In California, you can break a lease if you want to. You can't hold me hostage there. I was not there till March. So after I didn't see any of the party proceeds, I just cut him a check.
The bottom line is he left because I was making it uncomfortable for you. I, ate your special gourmet keto diet food. I played music that you don't like.
Your Honor, he's just embarrassed because a lot of the girls really thought he was a sleazeball. And why would a real landlord let a person who hasn't paid
I would
rent
like to show this.
for over 6 months? Why would a real landlord let them stay?
I wasn't letting you stay.
You are suing for 9 months' rent.
That is correct, yes.
He
yes.
is saying he paid for 2.
That's what he's claiming, but he only paid for 1. I acknowledge that he paid 1 month.
And if you're a businessman, okay?
Absolutely.
And let's say a successful businessman.
Sure.
How does a successful businessman not know that if he's paying cash for rent, not to get a receipt? I
Like
mean,
I
that
said-
is the most basic rule.
He was a friend.
You
We've known
can
each
get a
other
receipt
forever,
from
so.
a friend.
This is the first time I've ever had a hassle with a friend. A lease.
I am saying, under this rental agreement, you will owe, because there's only evidence that you paid 1 month.
Correct.
You don't have any proof here. That's the point.
I have documents that show my current residence.
That's not the point. The only issue is whether you paid rent. People own several properties. They have a condo in one town, a house in another. They have different properties
house in-
sometimes. Good for you. But if there's a rental agreement in each of these places, you owe the rent. It's not because I didn't sleep there that month.
Your Honor, I've
it
had
doesn't mean
tenants-
because I'm on vacation that month and I didn't sleep there, I don't have to pay the rent.
Your Honor,
you signed a rental
right.
agreement that says you have to pay for 9 months. You paid 1 month.
Correct.
I fined for the plaintiff in the sum of $5,000.
Right. He's like, he was pissed off that I was eating, his special keto diet food. So yeah, that was the whole point, to piss him off and make it uncomfortable. It sounds, a little harsh, but it's not illegal.
I meant what I said when he's a sleazeball. I mean, he hit on not only my girlfriend, but on several of the roller girls. He knows about the party. He knows where the money is.
Plaintiff Phoenicia Smith claims her big sister promised to pay off a van loan and an electric bill, but she never did. She's suing for $4,000 for breach of contract. Defendant Charmaine Gray claims her share of the electric bill was paid, and she never even wanted the van. She says she doesn't owe her little sister a dime.
This is case number 191 on the docket, Smith versus Gray.
Okay, and welcome to both of you. Let's see what we have here. We have the plaintiff, Ms. Smith. You are suing your sister, Charmaine, for $4,000 for a car loan and electric bill. Okay, why don't you tell me your side of the story?
Hello, Your Honor. I'm here because my big sister here owes me money, and I would like to get the negative energy between us squashed.
How does a lawsuit help the bad feelings?
It pays me back, for one.
Okay, and why do you think she owes you money?
This all starts with me getting a car loan for myself, and
Yes.
she needed a car because her car had messed up. And we made an agreement that she would pay me back whatever loan amount I took out, and
So you already were taking a car loan out for yourself,
myself.
and then she needed a car or came to you, and you're saying you two made an agreement where you would increase the amount of the loan, and that money would be loaned to her.
that's correct.
Did she understand? Did you tell her, I'm loaning you this money?
Yes.
So it wasn't a gift.
No.
You went, and how much was it for?
I took out $2,500
For her.
for her on top of mine.
And so you handed the money to her.
She had, actually, she had me go get the car. So we ended up getting a white van, and she had the van for a couple months to about a year, and she started having mechanical issues on it. So she sold the car, and at that point, she still never offered to help me pay down the loan, which of course is just,
Was she making payments on the loan along the way?
no,
So you're saying she never paid you a penny for it?
nope.
Do you have documents of the loan?
Thank you. There you are, Judge.
Oh, and the amount here is for a larger amount because
It was mine on top of, with hers added on.
what were the terms of the payback? Was she supposed to pay you a certain amount every month?
In terms of that, we didn't specify like an exact when and where. I just know I'm her little sister. I don't have a bunch of money to just throw out, so I'm just thinking, okay, she'll pay me back when she has a chance. I know she has a life, I have a life, we have children, and I wasn't gonna rush her when I know my situation.
You said to her, this is a loan and I'm going to need you to pay it back.
Yes, and more so recently, she asked me if she could stay with me, and I said, okay. So we came to an agreement that she would pay back the amount for the car, and at that time, my electric bill was really high. We said that she would make a payment on that. It was $1,500, and with the $1,500 on top of the car loan that she said she would still pay me back for, that was $4,000, and this happened in fall of last year. So around October, that was the agreement for her to move in with my niece and nephews. She has 4 kids, I have 5 kids, so together it was
Wow.
nine children and 2 adults in my 3-bedroom duplex.
And now you can tell your side of the story.
Well, I don't know why she is even bringing that to the table, because family does things for family. Regardless, not even asking for anything back. I've done for you and never asked for anything back.
Here's what I see. First of all, I'm not a family counselor here, but I buy the notion that family does things for, the people do things for each other within a family, and we don't keep score. However, 2 things come to mind. One, $2,500 is a lot of money, okay? So if one sister is taking out a loan, and you knew she was taking out a loan that she had to pay back with interest for $2,500, I think you're old enough to know the assumption has to be, I got to pay this back. This is a financial obligation. The only question I have for you is, how could you not have talked about this at the time you were giving her the loan, when it should be paid back with the
And I
family?
didn't get what I asked for either.
Well, you didn't have to accept it then.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Oh,
I
what do
feel
you mean
like-
you didn't get? Oh, wasn't the van you wanted?
No, I wanted a truck, and we talked about that.
All right. If your sister is giving you a vehicle to get around, if you didn't want it at that time, don't take it. Don't use it.
Well,
Let her
I
give it
needed
back.
it.
But she's running up interest. I mean, this is a $2,500. You can't expect that she's just going to forget about it.
But besides the whole car loan thing, there was the electric bill that never got taken care of. That was our agreement when she moved in this
No.
past fall, that she would pay that amount. I knew she didn't have all the money at once, so she told me she would pay $500 on it when she was going to apply a payment. And I was like, okay, cool. At that time, we were getting disconnect notices because the bill was $1,500, and
And how much of the $500 did she pay you?
she only paid down $100.
But we never agreed on me paying that all of it down.
She said
I
she would
would
pay
help
that amount. That was with
maintain
her,
it.
with her moving
Okay.
in. That was what was said.
Let me see that. You have to be responsible to be very clear on what the payback's going to be. I'm not saying it has to be every month, but there has to be some meeting of the minds as to what this is and when it should be paid back, if it is in fact going to be a loan from you to her. It was supposed to be $500 on your electric bill. You only paid $100. You still owe the other $400. So you get $400 on the electric bill, $1,000 on the car loan. I fine for the plaintiff in the sum of $1,400.
I would say we can make up our relationship. Of course, we're family, but I still feel like this was wrong.
The advice I would give to other sisters would be just to handle it at home.
Thanks for watching. Now please approach the bench. The way I look at it, you have 2 options here. Option A, watch more Judge Jerry. Option B, watch more Jerry Springer. The choice is yours. Now get out of my courtroom. You have more clips to watch. And don't forget to subscribe.